Hi, my name is Al Soto. I am the owner, I guess technically the CEO of Drip, the beverage lab, or Drip LLC, in both Tahlequah and Owasso, Oklahoma now. We opened the Owasso location in November of 2018. We opened the original Drip in Tahlequah in 2012. And before that, Espresso 911 in 2008. So I've been in coffee going on 11 years, and I'm doing this video now because we're going to be interviewing a lot of new people. We're in a transition phase, and we're running two locations in two faraway cities. So it's really important that you who's seeking employment with us, desire to be part of our team, that you understand a little bit about us before we go and spend some time talking. My interviews can tend to go about an hour long, but if I do a video like this, I could probably cut out some of the verbiage. So it is, we're a family business. Family businesses are not for everyone. So this video that I'm gonna do is basically just letting you know more about us, our culture, and to see if you would fit in that culture. Not everybody does. Working for a small family business in a coffee shop like ours, from the customer's side, is 95% of the time we get positive reviews. We are one of the best coffee shop. We believe we're one of the best coffee shops in Oklahoma, if not in the country, and we've been recognized by Oklahoma Today magazine as one of the top 29 locations worth driving to in the recent publication that came out in March of 2019. So we think we're providing a excellent service and excellent products. There's a bunch more we can do. We're not there yet. We're learning as we go along. But so when it comes to seeking the right person to add to our team, it's really important that you understand the culture to see if you fit in it, because that's a lot that has to do with it and what our expectations are too. So I'm trying to keep this not too long, but first understand our history. We've been in, I've been in coffee since 2008, and I have continued to learn and progress in the craft of coffee. And so much of what you learn as a first-time employee is just how to do things. We start you off on food, blenders, taking orders, and eventually we move you into making actual coffee and espresso. And later then we work on teaching you the whys. And there is a lot of why, a lot of science, biology, chemistry. We have recipes explaining why we do what we do. And so for this, it's not the job for everybody. Some people are just looking for a paycheck. And if you're just looking for a paycheck, this is not the job for you. This requires homework, study, watching videos. I do trainings on Sunday because it's the easiest day of the week to do trainings after we close. Now that we're open 7 days a week, we close at 5. I'm going to be doing trainings on Sundays. So it's a full-time commitment. And so if you're going to school, you have a family, and you're looking for just a paycheck, just a job to make ends meet, this would not be the position for you, because we demand a lot more. When you work with a small family business and not a big corporation, we have a smaller staff, and we depend on you a lot more to be there and be on time. And even though a lot of my staff are young teenagers, as young as 16, I require and I treat everyone the same way. I treat our teenagers like adults, and I require a maturity level. Just because you're 16, I can think of one person right now that's working for us. He loves coffee. He's been in coffee for already 3 years when he was a kid. I mean, he's still a kid and just loves making coffee. He's a good example where I look at him, he's young, but I still expect I have the same standard for everyone regardless of age. So again, this is a full commitment. Even if you're working 20 hours a week, I expect the people who work for me to become coffee professionals and not just button pushers. A button pusher is somebody who doesn't know anything about the coffee, where it comes from, why it tastes the way it tastes. You just push a button, take orders, and boom, you're done. At Drip, the reason we're special is because I train my staff to start really understanding and knowing the coffee craft beyond just pushing buttons. At the beginning, pushing buttons, taking orders, but eventually I require and demand, maybe that's a strong word, that everybody become a coffee professional, which requires extra training. We even send people off to Topeka to their training lab and do, anywhere from 3 to 6 hour trainings there. So this is not for everyone. This is for somebody who really wants to know how to make good coffee. There's a lot of whys: where the coffee came from, the varietal of the coffee, the processing of the coffee, and the way what we require from the newbie, as we say, the new employee. It starts off with drinking the coffee, and so I want everyone who's going to be taking this position. If we hire you, you'll be required to drink black coffee. To come to the shop, make a pour over. If you need to come in 5 minutes early before your shift to get that going, because maybe your shift immediately is busy, you do that. Come in 5 minutes early, brew yourself a pour over. You get good at the brewing process, but even more important, you get good at drinking coffee, developing that palate, understanding why coffee tastes the way it does. You're setting a baseline of good coffee, because all of you are coming from different backgrounds. You may have, not spent that much time with Drip. You go through drive-through coffee, whatever. When you come to Drip, we're setting a baseline of what we consider the best of the best. And the only way you're going to be good at communicating coffee and understanding coffee, this is a culinary position. You're like being trained to be a chef. And a good chef knows his ingredients, his seasonings, his proteins, and all of that. He or she. So it's the same thing with coffee. The only way to know if you're brewing it right is by knowing what the baseline is and what I say based on my recipes, what is a good cup of coffee. So as you drink it more and more, you're setting that baseline, and then you can judge good versus bad. So that's what you're stepping into. This is a world where you're going to be drinking black coffee on a daily basis. We do, and those are free. You can drink them even when you're off the clock. When you're not working that day, you come in, you can pour yourself a free cup of pour over or a cappuccino, which we also call a flat white. Little guy, no sugar, double shot of espresso, and cream, which is whole milk. If you can't have whole milk, we need to know that, because you have to be able to drink what we serve. And if you have food restrictions, allergies, and all of that stuff, that may be, we need to know that, number one, and it may be something that, like you wouldn't go, if you have asthma and you don't smoke, you don't want to go get a job at a smoke shop. So we need to know any of those restrictions, and we'll be asking you of those, but you need to think of that, because you're not going to be good at this if you can't drink coffee. I've had people come to the interview and say, I can't drink coffee because of the acidity. I have to stay away from caffeine and coffee. Well, then this is not the job for you. Another reason why this may not be the job for you is we require you to be there and be on time. We have a small staff in both locations. We demand more out of each individual because it may just be 2 of you working on a shift. A lot of times it's 3, sometimes 4, especially when school's in session and it's busier. But there'll be times when it just would be you and one other person. If you call in sick, who's going to pick up the slack? I can't, if I'm in Owasso, cover from somebody in Tahlequah. And so once school starts, people are stuck taking classes. They may not be able to cover you. And what happens to the business at that point? It suffers. So you've got to be a healthy person. You cannot be the kind of person who stays up late at night for whatever reason, maybe you have too many classes. You have sick kids at home. Those are considerations. Again, this position is not for everyone if you have a tendency to call out sick, especially when you're in training. The first 30 days, we require you to be here and be on time. I mean, we always require you to be here and be on time, but especially that first 30 days. If you have vacations planned, other commitments, that first 30 days, we do not want you taking any time off. So consider that. After the 30 days, we use the Homebase app. You can request for time off a week in advance. But again, we got to make sure we have enough coverage to cover everyone. Nothing's guaranteed. So if you're the kind of person who needs to take a lot of time off, you need to visit mom and dad on the weekends because you don't live in Tahlequah. Those are things, or in the case we're in Owasso, if you're, typically this is more of an issue of Tahlequah because people are coming in from out of town to go to school. In Owasso, I haven't run into that too much, but again, it's the same thing. If you're wanting to visit family because your family's from Texas or another city, we can't be covering you every weekend or every other weekend or once a weekend. This may not be the position for you. The other point to consider too is culture. You have to be malleable and easy to work with. There's different people from all different races, sex, religion, irreligious. You have to be able to fit in our culture, get along with people, be easy to work with, be easy to work with. And you can't come in and try to change the culture. So be aware of that. And the best way to know if you're gonna wanna work here is be a customer. Come to us, drink the coffee, be on the other side. The person who's gonna most likely get the job is the one who knows us already fairly well, knows the people they're gonna be working with. That's a plus, that gives you a strength. So you know us, you know the people behind the counter, you know you can get along with the people that are already working there. So that's a big plus. It doesn't mean that you have to know anybody, but you definitely wanna know the business and what you're stepping into. Again, we're a small, close-knit, and we're a team. We're putting together a team. You gotta think of it like putting together a basketball team or a baseball team. The people who are on that team need to like each other. You have to, and here's 3 things to consider. It's about respect. You need to respect the business, the employer, me. You gotta respect your fellow employees, your fellow workers, and you gotta respect the public. You gotta respect our customers. So this is a position for somebody who has a heart for service, for hospitality. Again, this is not for everybody. If you don't like people, this is not the position for you. You have to have that spirit of hospitality. You have to love serving people, and that's what this job description indicated. You just gotta love people. And that's really why Drip is special. That's why Drip is successful, because we love making people smile. We love people to become regulars, and they make an attachment not only to the product, but they make an attachment to you, the barista, the staff member. You become on a first name basis. If you're shy and you don't like people, this is not the position for you. You have to love people. You want to get to know people on a first name basis. So again, consider that. That's the position you're coming into. The most successful baristas that I've had are the ones who are people, love people, and they have started up a conversation. The word barista is a play off of bartender. And the best bartenders are the ones who have conversations. Now, of course, a lot of you may not be old enough to drink, but that's the same idea. It is a conversation. It's a relationship. We're building relationships and community. I know a lot of businesses say that, but especially in Tahlequah, because we've been there so long, that is the case. People love Drip. Not everybody, but the majority love Drip, not because of me per se, even though I've laid down the recipes, the style, the look and feel. I approach this business as a theater production. I have a theater background, and so I am hiring actors, costumes, props, You've got the stage, the prop pieces. You have to look at it on one level, like we're putting on a theater production. So again, it requires a special person who likes to be front and center, serving the people. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. We're looking for the person who is the most people friendly and likes people and likes to be good at their craft. I like to hire people who are go-getters, who don't need to be trained to look for things to do. You need to be a hard worker. It's called a work ethic. You got to have a good work ethic. And part of that is being there, being on time, not calling out sick, not staying up late and coming in half asleep. So that's work ethic. And you got to work hard and be efficient. Because we have a small staff and in Tahlequah, a big building, it is tough to keep that place clean. There's a lot of cleaning, mopping, sweeping, dishes, making food prep. If you're used to being a server and just serving the stuff already made, again, this is not the position for you. You will be making the food, prepping the food, as well as all the coffee. We make cold brew at night. So once or twice a week, we're making big batches of cold brew. You'll have to learn how to do that. We make our own crepe batter. We make our own soups. A lot of handmade, handcrafted, artisanal approach to food and drink. Again, this is not the kind of job for somebody who just wants a paycheck, who's passive. You're gonna take the person who will be good at this is the one who wants to learn every aspect of the job, from prepping it to making it to presenting it and plating it. So it's the whole kit and caboodle is one way of saying it. You can't be a wallflower. You are going to be an integral part of the culture. You're going to leave your stamp if you're good at this. Some customers will only want you to make their drink because you got this special something that they like. And so that's the person we're looking for. I think that gives you a good rundown feel. Work ethic, respect for the customer, each other, and the business itself, or the employer, me. We have to have those qualities. Integrity, and being malleable, easy to teach because we do things differently. I've been doing this for over a decade. I know what I want and what I like and what works for me. It's not that we're not open to change. We're always looking to get better, but you have to be coming into our environment. We're going to teach you, and to a level where one day you'll be able to teach us. If I said anything in this video that dissuaded you away from the position, please let us know. Some of you we've already scheduled interviews with. Those of you we have not, after watching this video, if you're still interested in moving forward, please let us know. We'll schedule an interview. We are looking to hire at this moment in time 2 people in Tahlequah, maybe, and then 1 in Owasso. As we gear up towards the beginning of school. If you have any questions, concerns, confusions, just send those to me through the Facebook app, and I thank you for watching.